GN everyone, I'm Mola and thank you so much for joining us in this Binance Live session. Today we're so happy to interview Nicholas. He's the chairman and co-founder at CESS Network or CESS Storage. Today we are going to ask Nicholas everything that we wanted to know about CESS Network. Was the first layer one for infinite storage and lighting execution, fueling the future of design, AI, and deeping a lot of very popular tracks, right? I can't wait to learn more. And first thing is that let me remove the banner and showcase Nicholas over here. Once again, I really wanted to appreciate Nick for joining us today. I know he must be super busy because of the recent TGE, right? So, Nick, would you like to introduce yourself to our audience? Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Great to be with everyone today. I couldn't be more excited. CESS is 6.5, almost 6.5 years old, and we have taken so much time to provide a solution to the Web3 community that is most valuable. My history, I came from the data world. I am a huge data nut. But what I really care about data is ownership of data. What I really always cared about was data privacy, data security, data sovereignty. And that has been in my life forever. I was a coder at a very young age. I was at Oracle Corporation back in the late 80s and early 90s, built a company that focused on data security and data privacy as the internet emerged. And today, I could not be more excited to be talking about a company we founded back in 2019 that is all about ensuring that you have complete control on your data, that your data value is maintained, and that you are ensuring that the data you have only gets into the hands of the people you want and not into the hands of people you don't want. So couldn't be more excited. And I see we popped up a screen here. I don't know if that was
Yes, that's the front page of Binance Live. We are on the front page of Binance Live right now. That's why I can't wait to showcase it to our audience. And I've also screenshot and share it with you, Nick.
Great. So again, we're here to, for those of you, I want to be very thankful for all of those that have worked with us over the years with our test nets. And as many people know, this is a big time for us as we emerge from the test nets into the usability on the main net. This is all happening over this summer and fall, and we could not be more excited to share with you our latest developments. And more importantly, for those that don't know about CESS, providing you with deep insights as to what CESS is all about and how it really sets apart from other solutions that are out there. The driving force is absolutely Web3 applications, but the other driving force is AI. And AI, I truly believe, is only going to succeed with Web3. I made a presentation about a year ago in Dubai, and I said, what email did to TCP/IP, I believe AI is going to do to Web3. It's extraordinarily exciting about what is happening out there in this AI industry. I was just in, of all places, Tallinn, Estonia. Everybody's walking around with their phones, and they're basically seeing, that they have the ability to truly have their own private AI. I think the future of AI is private AI. I mean, who are you going to trust more? Some monstrous corporation with their AI models, which is good for certain things. But if I really want details, wouldn't it be great to get that AI model from a dear friend, someone I trust? And the aggregation of all these private AI models is one of the driving forces of what we're looking at CESS, along with the integration with prior data sources. Really important to know that, you cannot have a solution in the Web3 space that simply is in the Web3 space. We have to integrate with prior technologies, Web2, client server, mainframes, all out there today, still all having data that we need to integrate in this new Web3 world. So excited to be here, excited to share with you what we're doing, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Nick. Wow, that's very, very powerful intro at the beginning, right? And I see that right now we have so many audience joining us on Binance Live. And friends, I have to tell you that, well, I actually already follow SaaS Network since last year or even that cycle, because just like Nick says, right, SaaS Network has been doing for a while, and they are going to go to the future as well, right? They're going to be here to stay. And always, we like to say that PG is just a new beginning. So, well, next follow up on the information that you share with us. How does SaaS DPing or decentralized physical infrastructure network, right, approach differentiate it from other Web3 storage solutions like Filecoin or are with like other storage solutions, or we can maybe compare to the Web2 solutions, right? Do you mind to let us know what are the difference between SaaS networks, Deepin, and others? Thank you.
Absolutely. Maybe it is not a bad idea to go into a little more detail specifically in terms of the details behind SES, and then I'll go into the comparison. But I want to be very clear. All these solutions are solving a problem for someone. And so the to me, it's about what is the problem you're trying to solve. And when you identify that, then you know the technology that can solve it for you. I started saying at a very high level a few things in my introduction, but preventing unauthorized access to sensitive AI data is absolutely critical. At CESS we employ a multi-layer encryption framework that including fragment leveled encryption, zero knowledge proof, to ensure that only data owners and authorized agents can access content, even in a fully decentralized environment. We ensure data sovereignty. I talked about this, but we do it, and we do this by geofence. We introduced the whole concept of LBSS, location-based storage selection, allowing users to define the jurisdiction of where the boundaries where the data can be stored. 2 years ago, I personally met with the head of the government for the IRS, that's the tax group, and they are very excited specifically, but they want to make sure all the data is actually located inside the United States. We've worked closely with the Dubai and UAE, and again, the UAE organizations, they want it within that location. And in fact, there's a lot of governments that would like to see the nodes located inside of their countries, as well as organizations that want the same thing. That facilitates compliance with regional specific data regulations like GDPR, HIPAA. There's a whole bunch. And, the core requirement of AI models is that they're trained on regulated data sets, such as, especially like in healthcare and finance. So this whole notion of ensuring that data resides in that space is absolutely essential. Trustless access control. So that incorporates cryptographic integrity checks, digital signatures, and reputation based node validation to guarantee that AI models are trained not only on genuine, unaltered data, and so that is a key part. They use a consensus node. We use a consensus node to verify data uploads and transactions to ensure that they're not tampered with. And we're talking a lot about AI, but I want to be very clear. This has to do with all data. But why do I say AI? It's because I've been in the data business for a while. Data has never been more valuable than it is today. I'll sidetrack for a minute. You take any big corporation, if I get their data, if I get a little bit of their data, or government organizations, if I get a little bit of their data, that's not good. But can you imagine what happens if data models are accessed inappropriately? And so data models have actually increased the demand for data sovereignty, privacy, and security. And so, and of course, we want to be able to share those models. So, at CESS, we built that in. In other words, through our AI link, CESS enables a secure interaction between data owners and AI model developers by allowing AI models to be shared, invoked, fine-tuned without direct access of the raw data. This is a game changer. This privacy-preserving mechanism uses confidential computation and secures API channels, ensuring that sensitive data sets stay protected even while contributing to model accuracy. It opens the door for collaborative AI across industries like healthcare and finance without compromising confidentiality or compliance. And we could add many more industries, every government, et cetera. So by combining this cryptographic rigor, blockchain governments, jurisdiction-aware architecture, and AI-capable storage solutions, CESS has turned decentralized storage into a trustless yet compliant foundation for privacy-first AI systems, and it ensures that the data owners not perform and retain sovereignty over the assets alone. It sets a new standard for data infrastructure in this AI era. We, right from the start, 6 years ago, everybody knows AI has been around for a very long time, but right from the start, we knew the problem we wanted to solve was the ability to have this very fast access, the ability to stream video and audio out of the system. And we knew that data value was going to increase significantly. And I have seen this over my entire career, that everyone talks about data privacy, security, and sovereignty as a second step. But today with AI, it is the first thing that is required, as I've been talking about. And this is what CESS is all about. So now we can go into sort of a little bit of taste. Now you got a feel for what CESS is all about. I want to be very clear. Every single company out there, technically, they have their own advantages, and they provide a great solution to certain problems that are out there. But we really looked at how could we encompass more than anybody had ever achieved or want to look to achieve. This is why it's taken us so long. This is why we didn't go to the mainnet immediately. We wanted to make sure that we could, have op functions. For example, we support full CRUD, CRUD. We create, we read, we update, and we delete. This is not the problem that Filecoin is solving. This is not the problem that Arweave is solving. Filecoin does create, read, update. Arweave does create and read. This is, again, I want to be very clear. We're solving a problem that we don't know anyone else has solved this yet. And so, and in terms of proof algorithms, we use proof of idle state, and we use proof of data reduplication and recovery. We feel that you have to go further when you want to ensure that your data is totally safe while they are using proof of stake. And so as a result, everybody in the Web3 space has always been touting, the storage is going to be a lot cheaper than a centralized system. We are touting that we have this deeper ability to provide more safety, more security, more sovereignty, more fault tolerance, because that was built into the system right from the get-go. And so we're there providing that with, again, this cheaper way of doing things. And I always look at it as nobody wants to pay for security, safety, data sovereignty, there's this I don't want to pay for that. But when you get that bundled in at a cheaper price, that becomes extremely exciting. And that really is what sets us apart. We only need about 2 to 4 TIB a month to be, which is very, very competitive. So, our whole thing is to provide you with a great data and, CDN solution while making it price effective. About reading and writing speed, I mentioned we're faster. I mentioned we can actually do that, in ability to stream video and audio. And we may be the only blockchain-based storage network that can truly achieve millisecond level read and write. In addition, they all focus on the Web3 space, which is great. But they're building towards others, but we from the beginning knew that partnerships with the Web2 space were essential, and that it was important for us to go way beyond, as I said earlier, not just the Web3 fields and the AI fields, but also to look at wherever data is located to provide a mechanism for that data to come in to our data value network. CESS is not only working hard to build the future of AI data services and the next generation of data technology facilities, but it's also together with giants in the IT world, really working very, very hard to ensure the IT field, such as Oracle, the Bahrain government blockchain planning proposal, is listed on their infrastructure layer candidate list. We are very, very tied in with what's going on with Bahrain, and very excited about how governments are getting very involved with a system throughout their country. We've also worked with the Latosian government and other governments, again, because they want a solution that really does provide a fully spelled out, fully defined data value network. And, I've mentioned governments, I've mentioned a little bit regulation. Standards are critical. If you look at the success of, what has happened with Internet of Things, when standards were put in place, everyone started to benefit. And we at CESS have done the same thing. IEEE is the oldest standards bureau for technology, and we are leading the IEEE P3220.02 standard. If you're at all in the space of decentralized storage, DPIN, Web3 in general, we really invite you to go to IEEE and participate with us. This is going to be absolutely revolutionary in terms of how we change the way people are thinking about Web3. And it's the first decentralized storage international standard that is being defined right now. And we really invite you to not only just look at it and read it, but please participate with us. This is how we're going to, as an industry, Web3 really succeed. We took the lead in opening this up, but it is an open standard, and it is something for everybody else to participate in. So please join us in that. And all of us, are doing everything we can to work together. And so that is our key thing, is not only to provide the community with an amazing technical solution, but also provide a community. And we've spent a lot of time building out our community over the past 6 years so that the community can understand how this can be integrated into the regulatory and governmental definitions and of course, the standards that I just mentioned. So this is a critical piece that we focused on as a company right from the beginning to ensure that we would provide the overarching Web3 community as well as the Web2 community that wants to come to Web3 with a solution that is very significant. And we're working with large companies, global 1,000 companies that are really looking at how does decentralized storage fit in to their future plans. How does it happen that the AI that they're building can be protected? And these are the problems that we are solving for these large organizations.
Wow, thank you so much, Nick. That's just very, very powerful information, especially when you mentioned regarding a streaming service, right? I feel like certainly Binance platforms also integrate a lot of great projects over there, right, to improve our connections, to be honest. And once again, friends, well, previously I shared the X handle, right, of CESS Network because I want everyone to go to X and give them a follow. This is a project that will be here and last for a long time. Thank you, Nick. And the following question over here is, of course, we would like to talk about the CESS token. Right, since it's TGE Day, do you want to share some insights on how CESS plan to leverage the token to drive adoptions and incentivize participation in the SaaS network ecosystem? Thank you.
Absolutely. And, I so appreciate the word you just said, longevity of what we're doing. As a former Oracle executive, I was there when it was 500 people. When I left, it was 10,000 people. But the biggest news is that in 2 years, Oracle Corporation, the database company Oracle Corporation, will become 50 years old. CESS today is 6 years old, and I am so excited that in 44 years, we will turn 50 years old also. So longevity is absolutely part of our mission and vision. And one of the greatest things, we had over 13 test nets. In fact, the latest release was on the 14th. And that one incorporated a lot of input. We had over 10,000 nodes on every single release practically. And we took all that input and brought that into really providing something that would be very significant. Let's talk about the tokens, because I think there's it is very much the heart of our CESS ecosystem. It's not just a utility token. It's a core economic driver designed to power a scalable, incentive-aligned, and developer-friendly decentralized storage infrastructure. And I'm going to go into the details of how we do that. But this is what has been happening. We want to ensure that it's not just, as I said, about using the system. It's about participating in our community overall. And so we have storage providers. We have a lot of storage providers out there that have nodes set up, and those storage providers are offering their storage space, maintaining their uptime, passing proof of storage and integrity audits. This is via our POIS and our PODR squared. This is the one that probably everybody very clearly knows about at this point. And I want to, really, this is probably one of the most important parts, is that, it's all about trust in Web3, and higher the reputation you have, the better task allocation and the more rewards you make. So that's our storage side. We also have a consensus side. We have multiple types of nodes, and the consensus nodes validate transactions and maintain the security of the chain. This is a coveted place to be. CESS nodes out there receive 15% of token emissions as rewards for securing the network through delegated POS. This is a very exciting. You earn the right. I said earlier the importance of higher reputation. To be a consensus node, you have to earn the right to be that. And of course, for the system to operate very effectively, these nodes are constantly changing, so it's an opportunity for everyone to participate and gain a reward there. Verifiers, T nodes, verifying the data redundancy and integrity is absolutely essential. And, CESS tokens can be insured, by ensure that the system's trustless auditing mechanism works. It's an essential role of the enterprise grade reliability that we're offering. And so, if you look at, these three areas, these are the core network participants and how we incentivize them. Now, I got to go beyond this. We have also empowered users and developers, specifically AI agents and developers themselves. They use the CESS token to store data sets, access encrypted data, and share AI models via the CESS AI link. The token-based micropayments ensure pay-per-use models for training data, AI inferences, and collaborative compute without compromising any privacy at all. I mean, this is phenomenally exciting that we are able to offer this. And again, I want to go back to, my time just now, recently, last week in Estonia, where everybody has their own private AI models, and they're phenomenal. They've all been built with their genius. But wouldn't it be great to be able to access those overseas? I can go back and oversee them, because right now the only way to see those models is if I go back to Estonia or I go back to where those people live. The future of AI is this integration of private models, and that gets it extremely exciting, because CESS basically is the underpinning of how that's going to work. We have DApp builders out there. You can deploy decentralized apps that require compliant, scalable storage, and privacy-preserving compute. The CESS token can be used to pay for decentralized storage, bandwidth, querying, and compute tasks. That is the second area in terms of engagement. Third area is fueling the ecosystem growth and adoption. I've sort of hinted at this earlier about how important our community is. And it's all about grants and bounties. CESS allocates CESS tokens to developers through hackathons, ecosystem grants, AI-related bounty incentivizing open innovation. And so that's the first part. Token staked governance. The future roadmap includes DAO participation, where token holders can vote on protocol upgrades, fee structures, and community fund usage driving decentralized governance. This is absolutely an exciting part of what we're offering in terms of truly helping grow the ecosystem. And then we talk about partnership-driven utilities. For those that have heard me speak before, partnerships to us are critical. We are there to partner with everybody. We believe the future of Web3 success is, the fact that we all work together. We don't care where the data resides. We don't care who's using us. We don't care about whatever the AI project is. We want to incorporate all of those into what we're providing and be in partnership with those organizations. So the CESS token will be used to partner with AI projects, deepen alliances, data marketplaces, etc. The token incentives can be embedded in third-party AI platforms to facilitate shared AI economies. I don't want to go into the details of that. I think a lot of the AI people out there know exactly what I'm talking about, but it could not be more exciting to see how private AI integrates with public AI, integrates with data in the Web3 space, in the Web2 space, in prior technologies like mainframes and minis. This is the world we're playing in, and it could not be more exciting.
That is just marvelous. Thank you so much, Nick. And I have to say that you are sitting an expert in so many different areas, right? From AI, dipping, and Web3 blockchain. So I feel like I'm learning a lot in this session, which is amazing because originally I thought this is just going to be kind of like a PG promotion session, right? But right now I feel like, wow, this is a very dense session and condensed session that I wasn't able to learn a lot. Thank you so much for sharing. And right now I said we got over 18.8 thousand live views on Binance Live. Amazing, everyone. Be sure to go to CESS Networks X to give them a follow and also follow Nick's personal account. And the next question that we would like to ask is, of course, how does CESS balance scalability and security in the decentralized data infrastructure to support AI-driven applications? Thank you.
Absolutely. Scalability and security is critical for any decentralized infrastructure, especially when it comes to its design and support of AI-driven applications. The demand for both high throughput and strict privacy controls is absolutely essential. And CESS achieves this balance through a layered, multi-purpose built architecture that integrates blockchain governance with smart encryption and intelligent data routing. Let's get into some specifics here, because I appreciate what you said. I mean, I have spent a long time in the data world, and it has given me a lot of insights. And one of those insights, and we're going to get into the details here that we're talking about, one of those insights is that we truly continue to grow in our technology, but the secret of growing in our technology is not forgetting the past. So a lot of the insights that I've brought to CESS with my fellow co-founders is this knowledge of the fact that a lot of great things have been accomplished over the past 50 years of computing. We cannot just build Web3 in isolation of that incredible knowledge. So a lot of what you're going to hear me talk about is, how does the amazing opportunity of decentralized solutions incorporate the past technologies, embrace the past technologies, and bring them forward? For example, we never thought it would be appropriate to come out with a data solution that did not have video streaming and audio streaming, because you have that already with Web 2. Who would use it if it didn't have that? So we felt that was really important. So let's get into some specifics now of what you asked. Multi-layered security framework. This is absolutely a key part of what we're doing. And, the CESS network has an innovative modular architecture. These modules can be flexible, effectively increased and decreased according to demand. These modules can work as a standalone system or combined into a unified platform to provide services. In particular, they also can link together with other external ecosystems to collaboratively cope with the ever-changing world. CESS has two module systems, the CESS protocol suite and the XESS AI protocol suite. The interfaces link different elements with models, and so that is a key piece. We also have a scalable DPIN architecture. I mentioned earlier about LBSS, the location-based storage selection. It allows users to route data to nodes on a location regulatory meeting and latency reducing load bottleneck while ensuring that data sovereignty. So we completely control where that is located. We're using, I'm repeating a few things, but we're using the PODR squared, the proof of data reduplication and recovery, to ensure both efficient storage by eliminating redundant copies across the network and robust data recoverability, validating that files are stored reliably and can be reconstructed even if some nodes fail. That is a big piece of this. I grew up in the world with data where, sometimes in the early days, you'd lose your data. That was just part of it. We in the world of Web3 have had that same scenario, but CESS definitely did something very unique with PODR squared to ensure uptime and to ensure fault tolerance. And this elastic storage grid approach provides CESS nodes economy, allowing thousands of storage providers to join, ensuring bandwidth and compute scale to really meet the demand for the AI load as it grows. AI, if you look at a chart, we all know that it's growing. The value of data is growing, the amount of data is growing, and AI is going to continue to do that. And this is exactly why we wanted to ensure that we had a scalable architecture. AI native infrastructure is also really important. The CESS AI Agent Hub acts as a central entry point for thousands of decentralized AI agents across verticals such as healthcare, finance, government, autonomous driving, education. We're all about enabling, the agent discovery, orchestration, and secure interaction with data stored on the CESS network. Our AI link protocol connects these AI agents to centralized data sets through privacy preserving programmable APIs, allowing model invocation, fine tuning, and inference without exposing one bit of the raw data. So CESS gets both scalability and security by combining fragment level encryption, intelligent routing, and a highly modular DPIN network. Its architecture is tailored for high volume AI tasks and enterprise grade compliance, making it one of the few decentralized storage platforms truly ready to support the next generation of AI native applications.
Wow, thank you so much, Nick. And once again, really, really respect. You're an expert, but you can also use simpler terms, right, to make our audience to understand the lots of like deeper things, right? And you have been in the industry, both Web2 and Web3, for a long time. Really respect. And actually, other than this session, I actually would like to offer another session that just from personal invitation. I invite you to do a short interview and talk about your viewpoints on various AI tools because it seems like in recent years it's been our everyday life, right? Like we cannot live without various AI tools. And since you have been an expert in this area, really, really wanted to add another section to discuss about this as well, and also your personal journey.
I love that. In fact, some of you might know I write for Forbes Tech Council, and I wrote an article that basically, when OpenAI came out, that said what Google did to Yahoo, OpenAI is doing to Google. This was about a year ago, and what I meant by that is, in many ways, ChatGPT or OpenAI as a company is a very much of an evolution of search. You can ask anything, you can get an answer back in any type of way you want, just not in text like you do with Google or links. And most importantly, continue to ask those things back and forth, and you can have that conversation. But in many ways, it's just a better way of getting to a search answer. Just like Google was a better way of getting to a search answer with against Yahoo 20 years ago. And so I'd be delighted to talk to you more about AI. I mean, everybody's excited about AI. I personally love those that are focused on how private AI models are actually not only going to be utilized, but shared. I mean, can you imagine, we haven't spent any time here, but we can go into detail somewhere else, decentralized science, decentralized research, where none of the researchers want their data to be exposed, but they also don't want it to go through the filtration of a centralized body that might have an initiative. Some people that follow me know that I'm a very big player in the health space, in the future of health, longevity, well-being. And one of the reasons why I'm in there is because I want better health as I get older. And if you could imagine what DSci is going to do for our health as we go forward, is exactly why I'm so excited to have put together CESS and worked with my co-founders to bring this, because decentralized storage and decentralized systems is the future of so many great things. And one of them is the aggregation of these private AI models, the aggregation of AI models around health that personally truly excite me so that I can get older without pain and suffering. That's another story. Glad to do another interview with you on AI, but AI, and more specifically private AI models, are super exciting to me. And I thank you for bringing that up.
Wow, that is just marvelous. Thank you so much, Nick. And let's come back to our topics over here because I know our audience would like to learn more about SaaS network, especially the role that you envision SaaS playing in the broader Web3 ecosystem in enabling data. Like previously you mentioned about right other in storage, but also a lot of like sovereignty and for individuals and also for enterprises, right? It's actually for everyone and for the whole industry. So, how do you envision SaaS role in the overall Web3 ecosystem? Or maybe the team will also think about replacing some Web2 teams as well? Yeah, I
So,
would like to hear your views. Thank you.
absolutely. I think the biggest mistake people make in technology and the advancement of technology is they believe they're going to come out with a great solution and everybody's going to jump on that solution and dump all the prior solutions. That is very naive thinking. The future is absolutely, or the future requires integration of other ecosystems. I've said this quite a few times. And so we're poised with all the things we've done over the past 6.5 years to become the data backbone of Web3 ecosystem, but also to do that in a means where we're partnering with other Web3 organizations, Web2 organizations, and other data sources, as I mentioned to you earlier. So we are going to basically do that by delivering true data sovereignty for individuals and enterprises alike. We're really, a lot of times we talk about CESS being enterprise grade. That simply means the power of what we offer. But we see a lot of individuals. I just mentioned, researchers in a DSci scenario. So there's a lot of individuals and enterprises, but they both need this high level of data sovereignty. And so by combining decentralized storage, encryption, jurisdiction-aware routing, and AI native interfaces, like our AI Link and like our AI Agent Hub, CESS empowers users to own, control, and monetize their data without intermediaries. It's just an incredible time. I could not be more excited. This is something I was hoping we could have had back in '95, and now it is 2025, and we have it now. For enterprises, we offer compliant, scalable infrastructure that handles this, sensitive data sets across borders. For individuals, CESS enables secure participation in the AI economy. I mentioned, my friends in Estonia that I just was with. Imagine just me being able to connect to all of their AI. It's going to be absolutely, it's going to be so game changing because we're going to get to a deeper understanding of what the solution is to a problem we come up with in life. In a world increasingly driven by data, CESS ensures that user, not platforms, retain control, shape a private, equitable, and intelligent data future.
Wow, got it. Thank you so much. Well, I have to say that a lot of times people might not really think how important like decentralized data storage is, but it's actually in our everyday life, and we really cannot well just ignore it, right? And for a lot of friends who might not be familiar with this track, right? I do definitely hope that you could pay attention to SAS Network and give them a follow on X. Now let's talk about SAS Network's partnerships as the project is growing larger and larger, right? Do you mind to share some recent collaborations or partnerships with various projects that you think are worth mention with our Binance Live audience over here? Thank you.
Absolutely. I think you're going to hear this out of my mouth many times. Partnerships are critical. That means partnerships with governments, partnerships with any type of uh, standards. So let me get through a few that we're so happy. I mentioned a bit on IEEE. It's about helping us a lot, as we look at the future of blockchain based storage. So definitely check out IEEE. As I mentioned, you can Google IEEE P3220.02 to get more information. Polkadot, another great partnership, which also helps us a lot in our technology and architecture. And many developers have chosen to interact and the interactions with them. I mentioned government organizations and I mentioned standards groups. The Global Blockchain Association, GBA, they focus on members to promote blockchain technology solutions to governments, but do not advocate for any specific policy position. We have learned a lot from them, and we have really listened or read and interacted so that we could really provide a solution that fits to the needs of that membership. So that is a key piece. There are many more partners that we will continue to announce, and you keep on talking about X. X is a great place to follow CESS. You can also go to our GitHub. You can also follow us, and read our white paper on our website, CESS.network. You can get all sorts of information there to really understand. And, again, I cannot thank enough all these players, the Blockchain of Association in the United States. I've been in DC multiple times over the past 2.5 years with them. And it's been so exciting how the U.S. has now moved into recognizing the power and the benefits of Web3 that you were talking about earlier. Decentralization brings new opportunity, but it does not replace the past. The past and the technology we have from the past work, and with decentralization, there are going to be new ways of doing things that we were never able to do before. And it's just like there was new things we could do with Web 2 back in 2000, 2010 that we could not do before. So this is a very exciting time. I could not be more excited about the cleverness of our technical world coming out with solutions, leveraging infrastructures like CESS and Web3 overall to provide solutions that have never been done before.
I totally agree with you, Nick, because, well, in the last cycle where I was living in the US, I kind of worrying that maybe I need to move to Singapore or other areas, right? Like Dubai, right? And right now in this cycle, I feel like, wow, we could see the like different regulations, right? Kind of like being more and more supportive. And even heard that perhaps there will be some exchanges that they are going to also they're also going to go to Web 2, right? Or the other way around, like in the Web 3 platforms that we could even trade stocks. So there's just so many new development, right? And well, so looking forward to this cycle and the next. And let's also talk about, of course, we have ups and downs, right? Crypto winter. Things CESNO has been here for 6 years. how does the team survive crypto winter? Especially any key lessons that the team has learned that you wanted to let us know about, maybe some experience, right, during the crypto winter that shapes the current roadmaps for CESS network. Thank you.
I love your question here because I couldn't agree with you more. It is ups and downs, but life is filled with ups and downs. At the tide, the tide goes up and down. When the tide is up, no one sees the rocks. When the tide is down, they see the rocks. To me, life is all about living and solving problems regardless of where the tide is. And so I want to start with the mindset that CESS had. Yes, it was really, really challenging, and it was no small feat to get through some of the winters. However, when you're solving a problem that is so needing to be solved, that is the mechanism that truly gets us through difficult times. And so, I never am one to say that, oh yeah, life is easy and it's easy if the tide is high or easy if the tide's low. It's not. But when the tide's low, you need to know what you're doing. If you're in a boat, you need to know where the rocks are when the tide is low. You need to be more precise. You need to really use every bit of resource to ensure you don't hit a rock. And that's what we did at CESS. I have never, ever since we started, ever since the first line of code was written, it was all about the importance of building a resilient team because we knew we would have high tides and low tides. We knew it was going to be challenging times and easier times. And we persevered because of that resilience. And more importantly, a mindset that said we could do it. This was something we all shared in the company, that we knew that we had to get this out, that it was so important for the Web3 community to have such an extraordinary infrastructure. And, so through the downturns, we did learn some lessons. And I pass these on because one can always say we might hit a few more of these downtimes, because that's just part of life. I think you've got to really, really always focus on the long term. I think organizations that were trying to do things quickly, maybe make some quick money, those organizations don't make it through tough times. And so staying that long-term vision, the concept that in 46 years from now, CESS is more than still around and will go another 50 years and another 50 years is part of that long-term thinking that we've had. And that is, when you have short-term goals, you're forced to pivot a lot, dilute the strategy. And we never had to do that because we really stayed focused on this massive problem we knew had to be solved. And that is, how do you provide a full data sovereign, private, and secure data storage solution and CDN network in the Web3 space that is as good as what we see in prior technologies like in Web 2, but offer this amazing new opportunity of decentralization that allows us to do things in ways we've never done before. So, staying focused on the mission of building a decentralized AI native data infrastructure was critical for us. And we didn't choose to chase the hype or trends. We stayed very, very true to our roadmap. We didn't try to say we were ahead of the game. We always tried to articulate exactly where we were in terms of our technology. We had an amazing community that, and we still have this community that is, sharing the strengths of CESS, and they're always challenging us, in terms of things we can do in our next versions as we grow that will make it easier. But now that we've gone through 14 different test nets, we've really flushed that out a lot. And the 14th one came out last August, and that has maintained its stability. And that's why, going to the mainnet with that technology is so timely. Anyway, the second thing is talent. Talent is everything. It is the people. We have worked hard ourselves. I've done a lot of different things in my life, but this one has taken all my attention to focus on really ensuring that not only I, as chairman and co-founder, have been actively involved, but the entire team, really didn't stop. During the hardest times, I think we had the greatest smiles because we knew what we were doing was something that was going to endure the tough times, the tough winters, so to speak. So by staying strong, mission aligned, the team of engineers, researchers, and community builders that we have really had in their heart the desire to bring this to the mainnet and really execute on our mission to provide such great value to the entire technology world, not just the Web3 world. And so, of course, we had to, during tough times, prioritize and in terms of how we would retain and attract our top contributors, but we were able to do that very effectively. The third is, we used our resources very, very, very efficiently and effectively. We learned the importance of being frugal with operating expenses, staying at modest hotels during, when we went to conferences, traveling in a way that was very economical. We invested heavily in R&D, protocol development, and core infrastructure. Every dollar was carefully allocated to ensure maximum return on the innovation and long-term value of CESS. These principles really strategically focused us, by investing in talent and a disciplined use of our capital. It allowed us not only to survive the crypto winter, but to emerge stronger and more mature and more committed to becoming the privacy-first storage layer for AI and Web3. Hardships redefine visions and strengthen one's resolve. We did that at CESS. And now, as the space is heating up, especially with what you shared earlier on how the US is now playing a major role, additive role to what's going on in the world, we could not be more excited to be leading.
Wow, really respect. Thank you so much, Nick, for sharing the journey with us. And I also could really see it, right? Because, well, the audience might not know, but at the very beginning, our connections actually had some problems, and it took us about 10 minutes to fix it. And during the time, Nick has been so calm and willing to like change a different platform and redo everything that I knew. He probably also opened different things right along the way, or he need to close some tabs, but everything's quite smooth because of Nick's collaboration and also being super, super calm and friendly and no complaints. I really appreciate that because I feel quite sorry and embarrassing as well after we just did a quite energetic opening, right? And all of a sudden the connection was now stable. So from Lee's small thing, I certainly could feel like you are a person who could bring the team go through crypto winter and also make SaaS network stronger. So let's talk about looking ahead. What's the most exciting milestone or innovation on SaaS Horizon for this year that you are personally passionate about, Nick? Thank you.
I think that the innovation, and the importance of where we're going as an industry overall is what is most important. To me, the future is in all of our hands. I've spent a long time on this call sharing my excitement for how CESS network fits into the future. I've shared how we interoperate with prior technologies to ensure that we provide a solution that equals the functionality and features of prior technologies while embracing all of those technologies. The future really comes in my books in how people utilize them. And more specifically, that we are cognizant of when we build a decentralized solution, what it can do that surpasses what we have done before. This is absolutely essential. If we think about the future of technology, it has to be a massive change. I personally love change. It's probably why we got through those nuclear winters easily. From our, looking back, it's always easier, of course. But it's that when things are changing now, let's just go back. When I was at Oracle, a gentleman by the name of Mark Benioff was one of my peers. He was 24 at the time, and many years later, he started a company called Salesforce. He also started the whole concept of basically interoperating with an application in the cloud, something today known as SaaS, SaaS, and the whole area of a new way of thinking about applications. Back in the 80s, there was the client server movement. Guess what? We're about 20 years later, and now we're thinking about applications in the Web3 world. Every one of these generations of application development have always, when they were successful, had to incorporate everything that had been done before. And so our attention to incorporating prior technologies and the current Web3 solutions is critical to allowing the future to take place. And that is that people on this call are dreaming about things they can accomplish in a decentralized world. What is it that we can do in a decentralized world that we could not do in a centralized world? What can we do in health? What can we do in finance? What can we do in government? What can we do in any field out there that we could not do before because we had a centralized system? It's not to diminish the importance of centralized systems. It's to invite the future opportunity associated with decentralized solutions. And so this is a very, very exciting time as Web3 really emerges, in my books, from a bunch of technologies that have been really exciting to a true enterprise level solution and application environment where we're answering and solving problems that could not be solved before.
Thank you so much, Nick. And I really, really wanted to wish the CESS network team, right, and Nick all the best, because from our interview session today, I believe not just me, but all of our audience on Bandisab here could see that you are a very genuine and trustworthy person. Right now, we got over 21,000 live views. Everyone, once again, I want to say that I know people are here on Bandisab, right? But I also have been sharing the X handle of CESS Network over here because I want everyone to just go give them a follow, give them support, because there will be a lot more coming, and the thing has been building for 6 years, and they also have a lot more plans for this year as well and more. So continue to follow in, and you won't miss more information or announcement from the team. Once again, thanks, Nick, for your time. Before we wrap up the session, are there any additional information that you wanted to share with the audience? Thank you.
Absolutely. Sometimes just seeing things in action change all the words and all the things that I have shared today from being interesting to a deeper level of understanding. I invite everyone that is not already read about CESS or implemented a CESS node to do one simple thing. Go to CESS.network. That's CESS.network. And go and look at our DOS. Go to share in the menu button, and you can actually really easily upload to the system an image of any privacy you want, And the only person that can ever see that image that you uploaded is someone that you share the same link with. It is that simple. In other words, you can go to CESS Network today. This is for anybody, a technology person or a non-technology oriented person. You can go there just like you would do a Dropbox sharing, any Google sharing of documents. It is that simple. And when you see that and you see how simple it is, you'll start to see that everything I talked about today is not just words, but reality. And that reality is coming to our planet. And it could not be more exciting to be able to provide these amazing pieces to a massive solution that truly is solving the problem of true decentralized data value and ensuring data sovereignty, privacy, and security in everything we are building going forward. So please follow me on X privately as well as the company. Please make sure you read our white paper if you've not done that already. And I could not be excited to have shared with you on this call what I shared, and look forward to many more.
Nice. Thank you so much, Nick. And just like I mentioned, let's also schedule a follow-up call to talk about AI in general and also your journey from Web 2 to Web 3. Once again, congratulations to CESS Network. Amazing achievement. And also thank you, Nick, for your time spending with us for these an hour and 20 minutes. And once again, everyone, follow Nick and follow CESS Network on X. You are going to get a lot more. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate your time with us and feel free to log off and continue your day. I know you must be super busy lately. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you so much. Bye.